Joe really struggled with Zhang's power in that first fight. He couldn't land anything anywhere near as impactful. Can you see any route to success for him in this second fight?
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I could see a route to success with the crazy tactics he applied in the first fight. After round 4, Zhang needed to take round 5 off because he got tired of punching Joe straight in the face. And it was in round 6, I think the referee said enough was enough because his eye was so bad. But he's got the engine, he's got the durability, he's got the toughness, he's got the chin. Obviously, you can't do weight training through eyeballs or your eye sockets. So I definitely feel, a big focus on defense, punch evasion, blocking, slipping punches should be the key. Slipping the punches and throwing counters. There's no counter punching. He just was hoping that Zhang would get tired of punching in the face. Like what happened with Joseph Parker. He was able just to mow him down, just like he did with Carlos Takam, with Svedler and Hammer. All these fighters, even a Ustinov, he was able to just absorb punches and just keep coming forward. And at a certain level, that works. It nearly worked against Zhang, nearly did. But when you're getting in there against the Tyson Furies, the U6, sharpshooters, guys who can fight for 12 rounds and don't get tired or bored of punching you in the head, you need to do something different. And, he's got Ismael Salas in his corner, who he understands that Cuban style, worked with Rigondo, some of the best, slickest Cubans. He knows how to get your head off the line. He knows how to step to the side, throw your shots out. He knows where to maneuver yourself away from the southpaw weapon, which is the left down the back, which is Zhang's money shot. And, he's got to watch those body shots as well, because Zhang was really whipping in some lovely left sort of long uppercuts to the solar plexus. That Joe, it didn't look like Joe liked them. So, Joe's going to have to do something very, very different if he wants a different result.
Joe got a lot of stick for how slow he was in that first fight. Is there a danger that if he applies a more aggressive method in this second fight, that he, like he predicted Zhang to do, tires out and then gets picked off?
No, Joe can throw punches for 12 rounds. That's he did a 10-round fight against a very good opponent, Ian Lewison, in his first ever professional boxing match. So going around isn't the problem. Being aggressive also isn't needed in this fight. He needs to be clever. He needs to be strategic. He's got the punch. He's not a massive one-punch knockout specialist, but he grinds you down. He's got heavyweight. He's a heavy hitter, heavy hands. If he can hit you these 1-2 left hook, if he can catch you with a cluster of punches, about it. The shot that took Parker out wouldn't have took him out in the first round, but after breaking your opponent down with the sheer size and velocity of what he brings to the table, very few heavyweights have the engine or the footwork to stay away. Zhang's footwork doesn't look that great. In the past, he's shown a solid fundamentals, solid amateur Olympic silver medalist. He's a world-class opponent. Just ask Philip Hergovic how good Zhang is. He'll say, yep, he's as good as a heavyweight contender can get. And you need to be a bit cuter when you're in the ring against a good operator like Zhang. And I hope there wasn't too much damage done to Joyce in that last fight, because he did take a fair bit of stick. It wasn't just the eye damage. He was taking some shots on the chin. His legs buckled 2 or 3 times in that fight. He took a lot of headshots. There's a lot of trauma done. The more you get hit, the more you get hit. The more you get hit in the fight, the less your punch resistance. Once your brain makes that connection with your body to your legs go jelly, it seems to happen more and more and more. So let's not try and test the chin anymore. We believe you, Joe. You can take a shot. Let's see what else you got. See some footwork. Let's see some in and out of range. Let's move side to side. Let's throw 2 or 3 punches, at a time. Let's start working Zhang's body. Let's show us something else. He's got the ability. He can do a standing backflip. He's a very explosive fighter. But if you was to watch that last fight against Zhang, he didn't look like he was physically gifted, other than just being tough. But he is. I've seen it time and time again. So he needs to go back to basics and figure out what it takes to avoid, you know, 2 to 3 punches at least.
What do you think the future holds for the winner and the loser of this fight in terms of, it will be 2 losses, in recent memory for both men of whoever loses this, obviously, because Joe lost the first fight. Zhang had a very controversial defeat to Hrgovic, and obviously a potential title challenge for the winner. So what do you think the future holds for the winner and loser from this?
For Joyce, a loss will be pretty devastating, as no young up and coming heavyweight. You have to look at the young array of heavyweights coming through, and there's plenty of them. I can guarantee you, not one of them will want to share the ring with Joe if he loses. Even no matter how he loses, Joe's just a problem for anybody. He's just a big, strong, aggressive man who can take a dig and is there for 12 rounds. And these young guns, at the moment, I'm pretty sure they'll all want to stay well away from Joe. Although he's easy to hit, you got to really hit him consistently for 12 rounds to have confidence. And none of them yet have proven over 12 rounds they can fight at a pace. So all of the promoters, all of the managers are going to steer very clear of Joe if he's to lose his fight, as it's what are you going to gain from beating Joe if he's just lost his last 2 fights. So it's imperative that Joe wins this fight, wins it in style, and gets back to becoming, that #1 contender, that mandatory challenger, so he can get that big fight for a world title, whether it's Tyson Fury or Usyk, either one of those, they come with a big payday, and he deserves it. He's 38 now. It's time for him to jump in there. If he's not good enough now, when will he be? I believe he could have jumped for world titles 3 years ago. I don't believe he's any better now than he was then. He's just taking a lot more punches. So the sooner he gets in there for a world title, his best chances will be.
Another fight, of course, coming up on TNT Sports, but with the box office, and you mentioned them there, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou on October the 28th. Carl Froch was saying this week that Fury's hurting the sport of boxing and damaging his legacy. I was wondering what you made of Carl's comments.
Carl's speaking from a purist point of view. He wants the fights that he was in. The Andre Ward fight, the fights that everybody wanted, the tough fights. Jermaine Taylor, Arthur Abrahams. He was always in there with the very best every time. We're in a different era at the moment where you have this very unique, strange situation where you've got these crossover fights, and whether you like it or you don't like it, you're going to watch it. It's an intriguing fight. I was ringside when Conor McGregor sort of challenged Floyd Mayweather. Some said it was a disgrace. It shouldn't happen. It's a stain on the sport. I was there ringside. I enjoyed it. It was a great entertainment. Every seat was sold. Smashed the pay-per-view numbers. So, occasionally, I remember Muhammad Ali having some fights, against some wrestler or a kickboxer. It happens. It's happened in the past. If Fury believes that, this type of crossover thing will grow the brand, then, good luck to him.
And elsewhere, it's been announced just today that Conor Benn's making his return to boxing this Saturday on the Matchroom card in Orlando, Florida. What's your take on that?
Oh, it's good to see him back. If he's free to fight, then I wish him nothing but luck. There's some massive fights. Everyone's very excited about the Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight that will need him to be licensed. He seems to be licensed now. I don't know the ins and outs of these appeals or what's happening with license in different jurisdictions, but it's nice to see him back. I know he's been training the whole way through. So hopefully, he can clear his name if it's not cleared already. Someone believes his name's clear if he's able to fight. So let the young man fight. There's been some big name fighters over the years who have been caught with substances in their system significantly worse than this one, and have only received 6-month ban. It's been over a year now. So, I know they do a retrospective thing, even if he was guilty, if he is found guilty. So how long will he be banned for? I don't know. I always give the fighter the benefit of the doubt. He says he hasn't done anything. So, I take his word for it, and fingers crossed he can get, back in there, doing what he loves to do, entertaining the crowd, giving the fans the fights they want. He seems to be willing to fight anybody, even though Chris Eubank Jr. is a fully fledged middleweight. He doesn't mind jumping up a couple of weight divisions, and that's what the fight fans want. You know, it's the whole system needs, I think, a bit of an overhaul, because it's nobody quite knows exactly what anything means. Nobody understands anything. I've been in the game for years. I don't get it myself. I don't know what this means. Different things are popping up. This trace level. This thing's allowed in training. This one's not allowed in fights, but you can have it in training. And it's just, you know, I haven't got a clue. So I'm glad to see him fighting again. As far as I'm aware, if he's in the ring fighting, it means the powers that be believe he's free to fight, because whatever the charges were have been eradicated. So I'm just hoping that, you know, he gets back to his winning ways, and we can sort of put all of this behind us.
I just wanted to, I'm conscious of time, but I just wanted to quickly get a prediction from you on an upcoming fight. Obviously, you were involved in the last Misfits boxing card with Fournier against KSI. How do you see KSI and Tommy Fury panning out?
I think KSI beats him. I think he's very awkward, and Tommy Fury, from every interview I've seen from him, you know, from everybody just believes he's so much better that he's just going to walk through this fight. And, you know, the best name on Tommy Fury's record is Tommy Fury. And that was a close fight in which he got knocked down in the last round. So, you know, it's not like he has this depth of experience in fights that you've seen. Maybe behind closed doors, he's done loads of rounds of sparring with his big brother, who's the heavyweight champ. But it only counts what happens, you know, under the lights. And he's journeyman, and, you know, no one of any note with a recognisable name. So I think everybody's overrating Tommy and very much underrating KSI, and that gives KSI a massive, massive advantage going into this fight. I believe it's going to be a big shock.
Brilliant. Dave, thanks as always for putting the time away to chat. Always enjoy speaking to you, and I'll let you crack on with the rest.